Bring the lights down low, it's time to show. Lights, camera, you know what we mean. Behold the magic of the silver screen. Some movies rock, some movies shock. They're powerful, alright. We cover them all on your favorite part. So many movies we can choose. Even when you win, you lose. Life moves pretty fast. Some will fizzle and some movies last. I understood there would be no math. It's the 30-something movie podcast. Be excellent to each other. Peace out and word to your mother. They're from the best decades. Movie magic that never fades. Lightsabers clash, phasers set to stun. Action packed from dusk till dawn. We have deep thoughts and questions free. Come share our love of the movies we see. Life moves pretty fast. Some will fizzle and some movies last. I understood there would be no math. It's the 30-something movie podcast.
Yar, it be the 30-something movie podcast, and we be talking about a pirate movie this evening, and I be here with me first mate, Bosun Patrick Candagallo. Patrick, how you be doing?
R. I feel like I'm like Will Turner in Pirates of the Caribbean, where he goes, "I avast," and everyone just laughs at him.
That has got to be the worst pirate I have ever seen.
But you have heard of me.
But you have heard.
John, when you were getting the thing all fired up at the beginning, I interrupted the show, but I was about to say, I feel like we should cue the sound effect where they're trying to start the Falcon in Empire Strikes Back,
Mhm.
and it just kind of stalls out that pew, pew, pew,
Mhm.
pew kind of sound.
It's not my fault.
We feel like we needed to kind of jumpstart the
Mhm.
theme music there.
I like to start banging my fist against the side of the podcasting equipment.
Yeah.
He told me they
Exactly.
fixed it. He promised me he fixed it. All right. Well, everything is fixed now. That was more human error than anything else. But speaking of human error, that's what we specialize in here at the 30-something movie podcast.
Yes.
What did my daughter say? It's the 30-something movie podcast. It's the lack of happening.
I have to know the reason. Like, how did that all come up?
She said that at one point I think it was during our Monty Python recording, and
Mhm.
and I shared that with Jeff, and he's like, "That was hilarious." Like, I feel like that's what the tagline of our podcast should be: the 30-something movie
That is-
podcast, the lack of happening.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I think that was partially her review of Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
And she stuck to her guns. She didn't.
She did.
She
Mhm.
just did not enjoy it, right?
No. She enjoyed Life of Brian, but did not enjoy Holy Grail. So that's
Comedy
okay.
is a unique thing.
Comedy is a fickle mistress. I feel like maybe give her a few years and we'll try it again. But
That's all you can do.
We'll see how it goes.
That's all you can do.
She also did not respond well a little while back to Blazing Saddles. So maybe we give that one a little bit of time and roll back around to that one too.
Again, it's a great movie, but not for everybody.
Not for everybody. Oh, boys. Yeah.
Harumph.
Well, speaking of movies that might be fun but might not be for everybody, we're talking about Cutthroat Island on this episode.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
So we're almost done. Okay, this is weird. We're almost done with 1995. It feels so strange to be almost done with. I feel like some of these years just go ridiculously fast. And
Yes.
this one in particular, like, I don't know. And the fact that, I mean, we've already done this podcast for 10 years. And then I feel like it was not that long ago that we transitioned from the 80s to the 90s. And now we're getting to the point where, as of January, we are on the back half of the 90s.
We're in the back nine.
We are. We're getting very. I mean, yes. I mean, I think knowing me and how I play golf, I'm either in the sand or the water somewhere.
Right. Well, and guess where we are tonight.
Which describes this movie. So
yes.
yeah,
Sand and water.
Sand and water and quicksand.
And
which
quicksand.
I was so excited to see quicksand because, and I've made this comment before, growing up as, and I've heard other people make this comment before, growing up as a kid in the 80s, I really thought that quicksand was going to be a much bigger deal in my life.
Yeah, it it is something. Yeah, yes,
Mhm.
yes, quicksand.
Yeah. Because I feel like, I mean, there were so many movies that featured quicksand or something quicksand adjacent,
Right.
like Princess Bride, and I feel like a lot of the old Tarzan movies from the 60s maybe had a bunch of quicksand in
Mhm.
them, and I just always felt like quicksand was going to be a much bigger deal. There is, of course, the quicksand example, the semi quicksand ish example that
Mhm.
I almost feel like I shouldn't mention because I know for a fact that this is going to cause an emotional reaction in both myself and Mr. Mazuka.
Yes.
We do have the example of the Swamp of Sadness.
Mm. Yeah,
So
Artax.
yes,
I just
yeah. All right, that we needed a
oh,
little moment of silence there, but yeah, that's whenever somebody says something like whenever somebody's complaining about a remake that's coming out or something like that, and they're like, "Oh, that's just ruined my childhood." Oh, no, 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 no. Until you have lived through as a child watching the never-ending story
mhm.
and going through the Swamp of Sadness scene, I'm sorry, but I don't think you have there's no traction to the argument that something has ruined your childhood.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
but they gave him a different colored lightsaber. They're not supposed to be that different color. Shut up.
yeah. Wait,
You didn't have to deal with
who
our
got the different? Who got the different colored lightsaber? What or lightsaber? Who threw that? What was that about?
I don't know. Probably somebody complained about that with Samuel Jackson having a purple one and then Ray having a yellow or orange one or whatever she's got, or I don't know.
Mhm.
Well,
Mhm.
people complain about weird stuff.
Well, that much is certain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that first thing, man, I'll tell you, I mean, when all of a sudden he's just walking, then he looks back and the horse isn't moving, and it looks
Mm-hmm.
like he's shrinking. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
kid.
Mm-hmm. Man, you mentioning it, I'm having a moment right now. So
But wait, but the horse does come back at the end, though.
he does. He does, but that doesn't negate the trauma that we all went through.
Yeah.
There was that. I mean, I think some pivotal moments for me as a child were that and the death of Optimus Prime.
Yeah, that one was hard.
Like that was, and that doesn't happen anymore in cartoons. I think we've talked about this before. Is that cartoons? Cartoons are a lot softer than they were back then.
Hmm.
Like we done killed some people back in our day in our cartoons.
Yeah, it was rough.
So it's a rough time to be a kid.
Yeah, it was.
So, but I mean, there's going to be people that get killed in this movie. It's called Cutthroat Island. So, I mean,
Hmm.
there's definitely going to be some cutting that's going on, some piracy, some mutineering, things like that. So,
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
this is part of our High Seas Adventure Month, the month of November. We're doing movies related to the high seas adventures, and Cutthroat Island
Yeah.
being one of them. And
Yes.
so, I don't know that I have any other news. Oh, the only other thing I wanted to say was we got a very nice shout out on one of the most recent episodes of the Surely You Can't Be Serious podcast. So that was
Oh.
a lot of fun. They are starting a series at the time we are recording this. They have just started their series on the music of Stranger Things.
Oh.
So,
Perfect timing.
yes. And those guys are awesome. If you want to be wowed by the amount of trivia knowledge and just the deep cuts that those guys bring to their episodes, please
Mhm.
go check them out because they are
Yeah.
they are phenomenal. They are absolute regular rotation in my podcast listening and really good friends of ours too.
Yeah. And it's just so conversational among good friends.
Hmm.
But you're like, wow, they pack a ton of information in with all that
Right.
in such a fun conversational style. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to check that out.
And I know we were talking to Jeff earlier today, and Stranger Things, the new season is coming out fairly soon. When do we say
Yes.
it's coming out? Is it next month or is
It,
it?
I it's no, it's this month. I
Oh, it's
believe
this
it is
month.
November
Okay.
the 26th.
Okay. Okay. And so,
And it's like
I think as we
four
were,
episodes, and then December
okay.
20, there's like 3 or 4 episodes, and then New Year's Eve, there's like the final episode or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. And I think we were talking today and Jim mentioned, and I think Jeff mentioned too. I'm like, it feels like it's been a minute and it has, it's been, I think close to
Yeah.
2 years since the last season. So
Yeah.
having something like what the Shirley guys are doing, where to go through the music and kind of talk about that, like that's the perfect primer, to get back into thinking about Stranger Things. So yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
If you have not checked them out recently, or if you haven't checked out the start of that series, I highly recommend everybody go over there and do that now.
Yes.
I mean, finish listening to our episode, but then, once you're done listening to our
Yeah.
episode, then, go over there and listen to those guys too.
Oh,
Or you know what? You got two ears.
yeah.
Put an earbud from a different music playing device in each ear and listen to both of us simultaneously.
Yeah.
It's
Excuse me.
it's
Yes.
it's like
That would
it's
be
like Amadeus. They all sound so good. Why don't I have three heads?
exactly.
So, all right. Well, beyond that, I don't know that we've got any other news or any other, pressing items that we got to talk about before we jump into Cutthroat Island. So let me just say up front that we spoil things. So we talk freely here. We're very conversational. We spoil freely. So
Mhm.
be warned. This is pretty much your only warning. And if you haven't lately, make sure you visit our website, 30podcast.com. That is a 3, a 0, and the word podcast.com, where you can leave us a rating, a voicemail. You can also become a co-executive producer on Patreon over there. We've got a ton of bonus episodes over there on Patreon. I think between the mini episodes and the full-length ones we do every month, I want to say we're somewhere close to 100 episodes
Oh
over
my
there.
gosh.
I know our most recent Patreon episode, the full-length episode, is 61. So we've got 61 full-length, like at least an hour bonus episodes over there, and then we've got a bunch of little short ones too. So definitely check that out. If you haven't been over there, the little short ones are free. The longer episodes are part of the paid membership over there. So that's a great way. If you're enjoying the show and if you can afford to throw a couple of bucks towards the podcast just to show appreciation or just to show support for something that you love and that you're enjoying, we appreciate that, and we appreciate the support of all the folks that we have over there that are helping us cover some of the costs so that we can just continue to talk movies and bring you all in on the conversation and just generally have a good time. There's enough stuff in the world that's not a good time. So
There's enough. Yes. And a big thank you to all of those supporters that do that. That's,
Yeah.
I say this every time. It's very humbling
it is.
to have the folks like that. And all of you that listen to us, God bless you. Thank you so much.
You're the,
Because
those
you
of
put
you
up with an awful lot.
those of you, especially any of those of you that have listened to every single episode that we've ever done, you
Oh my gosh.
are doing the Lord's work. And at this
Yeah.
point, I'm not sure which Lord that is, but you're doing the Lord's work by
right.
listening to us for, what is this one, 616 episodes.
Oh my God.
So bless you and keep you, I guess is what we're trying to say.
Mhm. That's exactly right.
Yeah. May his face shine upon you. May your ears be protected. May your brain not go melty.
Yeah, that's right.
No. All right. Well, a little bit of trivia on this one. This one came out on December 22nd, 1995. Oh, Christmas pirate movie. December 22nd, 1995. Rated PG-13 with a runtime of 2 hours and 4 minutes. Directed by Rennie Harlin, who is known for Die Hard 2 and Cliffhanger. Writers for this one were Robert King and Mark Norman. King did Vertical Limit and Speechless. Norman did Shakespeare in Love and The Killer Elite. Producers were Rennie Harlin, James G. Robinson. Harlin did Deep Blue Sea. Oh, Deep Blue Sea. I don't like that one. That's
Why
the
don't
one.
you like that one?
Isn't Deep Blue Sea? Is that the one? Okay. I'm going to spoil. We said we spoil, so I'm just going to go ahead and.
We have
I'm gonna spoil.
spoilers.
So Deep
We've
Blue
given
Sea.
a
If you don't
warning.
want to be spoiled for Deep Blue Sea, skip ahead like 15, 20 seconds. Deep Blue Sea. I think that's the one where Sam Jackson was in it. And isn't it like within the first, I don't know, 15 minutes, he's standing on some platform and a shark jumps up out of the water and eats him and kills him?
Well, that happens at one.
Is that Deep Blue Sea?
Yeah, there's a lot of that
Okay.
kind of stuff in there. And I think Deep Blue Sea is the one where the shark like lures the guy into the oven, then it shuts the oven and turns the oven on.
I mean, that sounds about right. I don't know. I'm not sure
And
if I even finished that movie because at that point I was like, I think I was in like a Sam Jackson kick and I was like, oh, I'm going to watch a bunch of Sam Jackson movies because I love him as an actor. And I think I got whatever it is, 10 minutes, 20 minutes into that movie. And all of a sudden he's given some kind of monologue and a shark jumps up out of the water and eats him and kills him. And I'm like, that's what I came here for. Like that. No.
shut it down,
Yeah.
man. Shut
So
it down.
so I think I might have given the movie a little bit longer after that. And I was like, you know what? I don't know. This might be a enjoyable movie, but the whole reason I came here was Sam Jackson, and he done got eaten in the first few minutes.
Right.
So
Kind of took you out of it.
took me a little bit out of it. Yeah, much like it took Sam Jackson out of the movie. So,
Right.
but Harlan was producer for Deep Blue Sea and The Long Kiss Goodnight. Robinson did Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Composer was John Debney, who did The Passion of the Christ, Iron Man 2, and Hocus Pocus. Cinematographer was Peter Levy, who did Predator 2 and Broken Arrow. Editor was William Goldenberg, who did Heat and Argo. Production company was Carol Co. Pictures. I don't know if we should play pull out your trumpet and play taps for Carol Co. Pictures after this movie, though.
Things. The release does not go well,
I was
Enterprise.
going to say, the production does not go well, Enterprise. Yes, the budget on this one was roughly $100 million, $98 million, one of the most expensive films of its time. And the worldwide box office, actually, I do know the domestic box office was $10 million. I want to say worldwide grand total with worldwide and domestic, I want to say was maybe 16 million. So it was a complete disaster that bankrupted Carol Co. Pictures. I think they were already in trouble. I think they were already a little overextended by the time this movie was getting made. And my understanding is that Rennie Harlan didn't even necessarily want to make it because he was worried that the company was going to go under as he was making the movie. Surprise. Or not surprise in this case. But I mean, that's kind of surprising because they made two of the biggest action movies of the early 90s. They made Terminator 2 and they made Total Recall.
Mm-hmm.
And this was kind of, Carol Co. was kind of the Arnold Schwarzenegger action movie vehicle there for a little bit with the big ones like that. And so it's just kind of shocking that it's like, wait, you made those movies and within just a couple of years you went bankrupt?
Yeah.
No, okay. So that's whoever was, I mean, I can't manage money very well, so I'm not going to criticize too much, but whoever is taking care of the money over there, I don't know what they were doing, but
Well, yeah, and especially if one movie is going to wipe you out like that.
right.
You know?
Right.
Oh,
So I'm sure we'll have plenty of comments about the financial issues with this movie as we go along. Flickmetrics gives it a 55% and CinemaScore gives it a B-. All right, so something to keep in mind about the actors that are in this movie. I thought it was really interesting. The first billing did not go to Geena Davis, did not go to Matthew Modine, didn't even go to Frank Langella. It went to a relatively unknown actor called Flash Bangwell, and he played explosion number 1 through 50 in this movie. Pat, do you know about Flash Bangwell?
I think you're going to tell me about Flash Bangwell.
Yeah, flashback, because there's so many explosions in this movie, and so that shows his range, like how versatile an actor he is.
Yeah.
I think Flash had more screen time than Geena Davis and Matthew Modine because they were blowing up everything in this movie.
Yeah, there was lots of explosive.
Yeah. So a little bit on Flash Bangwell himself. He actually got his start in children's cartoons. He was part of I was kind of a spin-off of Paw Patrol. It's called Pyro Patrol. And it was a bunch of little firefighting, like little tongues of flame. And there was, there was Blaze, Spark. Yeah, so a bunch of little like cartoon fire characters. And the irony was they would go fight fires even though they were fires. So he got started in voice work, but then he ended up acting in the Blast Zone series. And then he showed up in Detonation Days 3, The Ground Shakening. So, a lot of really good stuff from Flash Bangwell.
I'm just saying, like, I now want to, on a non-work device, Google Flash Bangwell to see
don't
to see what comes up.
No, maybe don't.
Okay, we're gonna pull that one back. Oh my gosh.
I'm using that in the sense of an explosives expert. I can't guarantee. The 30-something movie podcast cannot guarantee what may come up in a Google search if you try to search for a name such as that. So
we can control a lot of things, but the Google search is not one of them.
As we've learned, we cannot control the internet. As far as we've tried, we cannot control the internet.
Yeah, no kidding.
So anyway, apparently there were a few other actors in this movie, but there were so many explosions that I think Flash, really gets. That's why he gets top billing here, and especially given his acting pedigree. So yeah, I mean, feel free to go check out other movies. I believe his IMDb page is currently down, so I don't think you're going to find him on there, but definitely it's well worth checking out.
Yes. Well, in all honesty, as I was watching this movie, and I don't know if this qualifies as a deep thought or not, but I felt like I was at the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular.
Yes.
Where it was just like, wow, and then wow, and then oh my. And then I'm like, okay, well, none of this is like green screen and all that. I mean, they're really just doing all this stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that part of the movie
And
was pretty epic.
because it's such a big part of the movie, I have actually pulled some direct quotes from Flash Bangwell in this movie. I've got a few of them here queued up for us. Here's probably one of his most memorable lines in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There's one of them. Yeah, that was one of his most memorable. But I mean, really, who could forget this one? That one was great. That one was awesome. So
That one was really good.
a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff from Flash. Apparently, Geena Davis was also in this movie. She played Morgan Adams, and she was in Thelma and Louise and A League of Their Own. Matthew Modine was William Shaw. He was in Full Metal Jacket and Birdie. Frank Langella, who passed away in 2022, was Dog Brown. He was in Dracula, the 1979 version. And Dave, he was also Skeletor in Masters of the Universe. Maury Chaykin passed in 2010. He played, so this was a pleasant surprise. I guess anytime you've got a little bit of a larger fellow with a beard, and I don't remember if he wore glasses or not, but he was the kind of the pirate biographer that was traveling around with them.
Okay.
His character's name was John Reed.
I noticed they've said
No.
John Reed was in this movie.
That was exciting. So it was very nice. It was a nice, name drop for me. I appreciate it for
Yeah.
them dropping my name in this movie. They spelled it wrong, but that's okay. It's piratey times, and I don't think pirates are as well known for their spelling.
Yes, but there's only one John Reed
That's true.
in our hearts.
That is true. Unlike Patrick's, of which there apparently are many, but not in Pat Cannavalo's mind.
There are many Patricks.
Mm-hmm.
Species.
Yep. Let's see. We had Maury Chaykin was.
Oh, boy.
It's tough to be famous. Maury Chaykin
Ay.
played John Reed. He was in Dances with Wolves and Mystery Alaska. Patrick Malahide. Oh, there's another Patrick. Look at that.
There's Patrick.
It's Pat. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hey. Patrick Malahide played Governor Ainsley, was in The World Is Not Enough and The Long Kiss Goodnight. Stan Shaw was Glasspool. He was in Rocky and Snake Eyes. Rex Lynn was Mr. Blair. He was in Cliffhanger and Rush Hour. Paul Dillon was Scully, not X-Files Scully, was in Singles and 8mm. Christopher Masterson was Bowen. He was in American History X and My Best Friend's Wedding. Carl Chase was Bishop. He was in The Fifth Element and Judge Dredd. Angus Wright was Captain Trotter. He was in The Iron Lady and The Courier. And Richard Leaf was Reaper. He was in The Constant Gardener and Hannibal Rising. So a few quick things about this one. Geena Davis was actually married to director Rennie Harlan during the production of this one, and this was the second time I think they had worked together after The Long Kiss Goodnight. The probably one of the most famous things about this movie is the film's budget. The budget just absolutely exploded, oddly enough, due to constant script rewrites. Flash, are you still there? That's an excellent point, and that sounds exactly what happened to the budget. Constant script rewrites, set damage. My understanding was there was a point at which some of the set, I think, got flooded with sewage, which is always a lot of fun.
Oh.
On-location difficulties in Malta and Thailand, and so just a mess. And the massive failure of this is what bankrupted Carolco Pictures, which we said before they had done Terminator 2 and Total Recall before this. And so it is a movie that has a reputation because at the time I think it was in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the biggest movie flop of all time. And so it later gained kind of a cult following because it does a lot of practical effects. It's a fun adventure movie. Like there's a lot that's fun about this movie. As we get into talking about it, it's a fun movie. You can see where the budget probably got pretty out of control in this movie. Like you can tell this movie looks expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see like where this money would have gone and what kind of probably happened here. Some choices were made that might have been some poor choices. Rennie Harlan and producers might have picked the wrong cup if they had been at the end of Last Crusade. So they might have chosen poorly.
Yeah.
But either way, it is a fun movie, and it is a cult classic movie at this point.
Yeah. Did you say that the Rennie Harlan and Davis had worked together? This was their second collaboration after Long Kiss Goodnight?
No, I think second collaboration after Long Kiss Goodnight. I think
Because
yes.
But Long
they had,
Kiss Goodnight came out next. I mean, is it one thing that they worked on and then released it later? Because I thought that was a '96 movie.
oh, maybe. Actually, yeah, because aren't we doing it next year?
I think so.
So maybe, yeah, let me see. Yeah, because I was trying to remember. I had written down a couple of the movies that they did together, but I'm not seeing it right here. Yeah, Long Kiss Goodnight was 96. I wonder when they were filming Long Kiss Goodnight,
Yeah, that's
because maybe they were filming it before this one. Yeah, I'll have to look at it and see, because it was. Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. But yeah, so it was I think one of the two or three things that they worked on together. But yeah, there's some interesting stories that kind of come out related to them being married and working on this together, and maybe some interesting purchasing choices that were made while they were working together on the movie. So apparently a lot of V8 was purchased. Big fans of V8 vegetable juice, I guess.
yeah.
Which explains the lack of Dutch angles in this movie.
Yeah. Remember all this? The commercials. Hey, how you feel?
Yeah.
A little. Well, they never said crooked, but I feel like I'm just not.
I'm
Whatever.
feel like I'm
Everyone's
a little
walking
off
like
or
on.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you haven't had
And
your
they
V8
drink their
today.
V8. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, as we get into this one, do a quick voiceover synopsis for you. We'll run into the major moments. We try to divide it up into 10 major moments to kind of do a quick fly through of this movie, or sail through it, as the case may be with this one. And then we'll get into some of our deeper thoughts. So, in a world ruled by greed and treachery, one fearless pirate, Morgan Adams, dares to chase the ultimate treasure. With the cunning thief William Shaw, that's easy for me to say, she'll battle the ruthless Dog Brown on the deadly seas of Cutthroat Island. Get ready for the adventure of a lifetime where fortune favors the bold.
We set sail for Cutthroat Island!
More gold, jewels, and plunder than you've ever dreamed of.
I'm gonna split you open.
I really think that from now on we should be partners. 50-50.
60-40.
I find myself being fired upon by an entire ship!
Give me the map. Give me the kiss first.
Come to seek my treasure, have you?
Let's finish this.
Embrace!
Open fire!
I love this! I love it!
It's crazy how the trailer features so much of Flash Bangwell's work.
It had a lot of Flash Bangwell's work. It also had a lot of 1812 Overture in there.
It did, yeah. I was getting V for Vendetta vibes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting, as we've often said with the trailers, it's always interesting the music that makes it in the trailer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, our major moments, 10 major moments that we've broken this one into. The first major moment here, the pirate family feud begins. We kick things off in 1668 Jamaica, where pirate Morgan Adams is already in trouble with the law and her family. Her father, the infamous Black Harry.
Infamous?
Wow.
Infamous?
Infamous? Wow. The infamous Black Harry has one of three pieces of a treasure map leading to the legendary gold of Cutthroat Island. But things go south fast when Harry's brother, the ruthless Dog Brown, kidnaps him to steal the map and try to figure out a way to time travel. With Harry mortally wounded, Morgan literally scalps her own father to retrieve the hidden piece before he dies. Talk about commitment to the pirate life there.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was an interesting opening to the movie. It kind of sets up and establishes Morgan as a character that in certain ways she's ruthless, she's heroic, she's maybe a little bit of both. But
Mhm.
you kind of set this up, and it's really a different kind of part for Gina Davis too, because before this, she's mostly known for being in comedy roles.
Right.
Even Thelma and Louise, you could argue, is a somewhat of a comedy role, even though it's definitely not a comedy. But this one, the way the movie opens, it's a little bit of a darker take for her, and
Yeah.
we're introduced right away to the idea that they're really going to try to stretch what you know about Gina Davis to try to get her to be the lead pirate in this movie.
Right.
So, with her father gone, Morgan takes command of his ship, the Morning Star. She is determined to find the treasure and maybe settle some family scores along the way. And there's just a little teeny tiny problem here. The map, as far as they know, is in Latin, and her crew isn't exactly fluent.
Mhm.
And so they go grab Sean Connery because they know that he knows Latin, or at the very least, he knows that in the Latin alphabet, Jehovah starts with an I,
Right.
but he's not able to translate it because it's
Nope.
1668 and he's not alive yet. So they need to find somebody that can translate for them. Enter the character of William Shaw. So we're going to cue up Port Royal here, where Morgan finds herself bidding on a charming, fast-talking con man named William Shaw, who conveniently can read Latin. She wins him
Mhm.
at auction after a little intimidation of one of her competitors, of course. But when she's recognized by the authorities, all hell breaks loose here.
Yes.
There's a nice scene with a horse-drawn wagon chase. They barely escape, and they kind of set up that you've got another villain in Governor Ainsley that is on their trail once he learns that there is some treasure involved as well. And this whole Port Royal escape it's really like, some of your classic adventure mayhem. Like it's an exciting set piece. It made me think a little bit of like Disney's Three Musketeers. I
Yes.
was getting some of that. I was getting a little bit of Pirates of the Caribbean kind of a thing.
Yes. Yes. 100% agree.
And you get that fun scene, and they kind of take it a little bit further than they do in Three Musketeers. That one scene where the horse starts to go under what would you call that? Kind of a covered walkway, a portico, or
Yeah,
whatever.
something
And
yeah,
and
I know.
she jumps
Yeah.
over it and starts climbing through the apartments up above until she gets out the
Yeah.
other side and like rolls out and lands in the seat next to Shaw.
Yes.
Yeah.
That whole thing is a good bit of fun.
Yeah. It was a good bit of fun. At the end of it, I was like, you got to suspend a little disbelief here because for her to like crawl and smash through all the stuff in those apartments, those horses are going pretty slow.
Yeah.
But
Well, and I wanna say when they filmed it, they did some kind of a digital effect where they filmed her landing in the cart, and then they filmed her jumping off, and then they put them together somehow. I read about that. They said because
yeah,
they said that Gina Davis did, they had her doing all her stunts. Then that was the one that they had to like use, different Hollywood magic filming techniques to put that together.
right. Yeah. Yeah. After escaping, Shaw patches up Morgan's wound, showing he's more than just a smooth talker. Sparks start to fly between the two, not to be confused with the Sparks character in the Pyro Patrol cartoon that Flash Bangwell started his work in. But
Right.
together they realize that the map pieces spell out part of the coordinates to the treasure, but they still need Dog's piece to finish the puzzle. So we're starting a little bit of romance between the two of them here, and it's you kind of get the idea of can you completely trust Shaw? Is this romance real? Is he just trying to con her? What's the picture here? Like,
Mhm.
what's going on between these two? Is this real, or is this, kind of a little cat and mouse game?
Mhm.
So yeah, the other thing to kind of keep in mind about this one is as we go along, I think what a lot of people are thinking, this is getting more into like the deep thoughts and some of the other stuff, but I think some of the thoughts about this movie afterwards are that because this movie failed so spectacularly,
Mhm.
a lot of people doubted whether or not you could have a female-led action movie like this. And you didn't, I think, for several years afterwards, because the studios, their initial knee-jerk reaction was, yeah, you can't have women lead a movie like that because then it fails.
Yeah.
And so part of me wonders, like, do you, as you're trying to put forth this female lead and have her be a believable pirate in a, what's kind of like maybe like a proto Pirates of the Caribbean kind of movie, Do you think, I mean, and again, this is kind of a deep thoughts thing, but I'm getting to it right away anyway.
Get to it early. Cut to the chase.
Do you think it was a good idea for there to be a romance subplot here? Or do you think that that undermines her credibility as if they're trying to show her as being just as good as a man when it comes to being a pirate captain, do you feel like in any way the romance subplot messes with that? Or is it just a natural extension of what's going on with the story?
I think it's kind of a natural extension. I mean, I might not be the correct gender to ask that question of, but I mean, I think it's kind of, you know, in all the old pirate movies, there was always a romance angle.
Mhm.
So, you know, I think if you're doing like a simple might be the wrong word, but if it's basically an adventure movie, right? It's basically an old pirate movie is what they've made. An old
Right.
kind of old, when I say old, like the pirate movies from the 40s and 50s, that's kind of what they made. And if you're not, I mean, the love story angle was a big part of those.
Right.
So yeah, I don't necessarily think they did that. Now, yeah, I don't necessarily see it as, oh man, she couldn't survive unless, you know,
Mhm. Yeah.
she had the man. But
Well,
yeah,
because
so I didn't see it. Not saying it's not there.
yeah.
And
Well,
someone else
and
might take a look at it and see it, but
she
yeah,
saves him as much as he saves her. So
yeah. And I think I'm guessing we'll get into this with deep thoughts, but I think, you know, we have to take an honest look at the why things happen and not just judge superficially on, oh, well, you just can't have a female rule,
right.
a female lead, or something, you know, something like that. It's like, no, I think if this movie, you know, the reasons that it did flop or, you know, didn't make back its money, I don't think that's because it was a female lead.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's, you know, whoever makes those decisions and all that as on how to judge a movie, I just, you know, that would say, oh, well, it's a female lead and that's why, and blah 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 and so on. I think they just maybe aren't looking at. I think they may be only looking at one thing, maybe not
Mhm.
looking at, you know, let's really break this down and try to figure why this movie
Yeah.
didn't do as well as we
Yeah.
thought it was going to.
Yeah. All right. Well, as we get our first hints of romance on the high seas here, which reminds us too that when it comes to treasure, sometimes the real booty is the friends we make along the way. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then we get Dog's ship, the Reaper, catching up with them, leading to a chase through reefs and rough weather. And Morgan tries to outmaneuver her uncle. The Morning Star's chronicler, John Reed, secretly rats them out to Governor Ainsley. So didn't like
Mhm.
that for the John Reed character, but, you know, it's spelled incorrectly. So that would be the different branch of the John Reed family who rat people out. Not my side.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, again, we're not talking about the real John Reed here.
No.
You know, we're talking about fake John Reed.
Correct. This is like the Crystal Pepsi of John Reed. This is the caffeine-free diet John Reed.
This is yeah, exactly.
Mhm. Let's see. The crew mutinies. Scully takes over, marooning Morgan and her loyal followers in a tiny boat during the storm.
Mhm.
As fate would have it, that little boat washes up right where they're all headed along, Cutthroat Island, and Morgan, it worked out well. Morgan and her crew are battered but alive, and the treasure is somewhere close by. And as we mentioned earlier, Sam Jackson is one of my favorite actors, and especially when we're talking about pirates, it comes to mind a phrase from Sam Jackson. I might paraphrase just a little bit, and as at this point, it is their duty to find that pirate booty.
There you go.
And so they are finally at Cutthroat Island, and they're ready to find it. Meanwhile, Shaw manages to swipe Dog's map piece, but lands himself in quicksand for his trouble. Here comes the quicksand scene.
Mhm.
Morgan ends up saving him here, and they finally have all the map pieces put together. They find the treasure, piles of glittering gold buried deep within the island. But before they can celebrate, Dog and his men swoop in and steal it. Shaw ends up captured. Ainsley, Dog, Scully, and Reed all team up to divvy the loot. And let's just say that alliance doesn't last too long. And then we have, in the last little bit of this movie, we have a massive battle between the Reaper and the Morning Star, and just this huge battle between ships and explosions everywhere. And Morgan is not about to quit now. So she sneaks aboard her ship and takes back command, launches a full-on naval assault on Dog's Reaper. Cannonballs fly, ships explode, and by the end, most of the villains are blown to bits. Morgan faces off against Dog in a brutal sword fight as Shaw tries to escape from a flooding hold filled with gold. And Morgan finally blasts Dog straight to pirate hell with a cannon shot. I will stop for a moment and say I really did enjoy Frank Langella as the pirate villain in this one. I thought, not that he had a mustache that could be twirled, but if he could, he would have, because he was hamming it up here. He was having a good time, you could tell.
Yeah, it was very good. He was very good in it.
Yeah, and this battle was just massive. I mean, this is when you look in the encyclopedia next to the word spectacle, you take any screenshot from this fight and you could have that in the encyclopedia.
Yes, most assuredly so.
So the gold seems lost to the sea until Morgan reveals that she had cleverly attached a marker barrel to it earlier. The Morningstar crew hauls it up, sails away rich, and heads off toward Madagascar for their next grand adventure. Roll credits on one of the most infamous pirate tales in movie history. No. That is our 10 major moments. It is time for some deep thoughts.
And now, deep thoughts.
I have an opinion on this matter.
Don't mince words, Bones. What do you really think?
I like it a lot. Wow. It's very deep. Thank you.
So, had you seen this movie before, or was this your first time watching it?
This is my first time watching it. I don't know that it's I think I've heard of it. Like when you said Cutthroat Island, I'm like, oh, I remember hearing about that. But no, first time seeing it.
Okay.
What about yourself?
Same for me. I remember seeing this. I don't know if I remember. I would imagine I probably saw the trailer at some point, either on TV or going to see another movie. But I remember seeing the cover of this, like when you're looking for a movie at Blockbuster or video store or somewhere like that. I remember seeing the cover of this one, and I think I remember, especially as a younger kid, like none of these actors stood out to me as, oh yeah, I know that person. I might have looked at it and been like, isn't she the lady from Beetlejuice? But I think at the age I would have been around this time, I would have been like 14 years old. In some ways, I don't know that I would have been drawn to a pirate movie at that point in my life. I think I was a little bit more, well, I can tell you, I was a little bit more vampire or zombie or, action movie where you're trading faces with somebody else or stuff like that. So I don't know that I would have gravitated towards pirate movie. And I think probably until Pirates of the Caribbean came out, I'm not sure that I would have gravitated towards watching a pirate movie. So this is the first time I had seen this one too. Definitely knew about it, like definitely had heard about it, had heard a little bit, in since we started doing this podcast, it definitely comes up when you talk about movies that flopped spectacularly in terms of budget. So well known in that regard. So watching this, that was a little bit in the back of my mind as I'm watching this. I'm like, is this really as bad as kind of what it makes it seem like it is? And just as initial thoughts, as we're getting into this, is no, I don't think, this movie is not, it's not a terrible movie. Like there are things here and there where I'm like, I would have, if you gave me the money to be in charge of this, I might have done that a little differently. But I think in terms of you've got Rennie Harlin, you've got somebody, he's done Die Hard, he's done, big budget action movies, explosions, all kinds of stuff. I think that's perfect. I think if you are looking to make a modern pirate movie, I think this is a really good, it's taking a really good swing at trying to make a modern pirate movie. To a little bit to me, there are some parts of this that feel like, I want to say we've made the comparison before, we've made the comment before that Tombstone feels a little bit like if you had a Western mixed with like a music video. Like some of the action, some of the, like the quotability and stuff like that of Tombstone seems very exaggerated, like compared to some older Westerns. And so that feels a little bit like what maybe they were trying to do with this one is, let's take the pirate genre and let's update it. Let's give it to the guy that did one of the Die Hard movies, and let's just blow a bunch of stuff up. Like let's
Yeah.
let's build ships and then let's blow them up
Yeah.
and just have some fun with it. And I feel like even though there's plenty of stories about the budget going crazy on this one, which I'm sure caused a lot of stress on the sets, it seems like if money had not been an issue, this would have been a fun movie to make.
Hmm.
Because they were on location. They went to all these places. That might have been one of the other things that I would change. Knowing what we know now, like there's a lot of places less expensive to get to than Malta and Thailand and Madagascar that look just like this. Like there's plenty of places off the coast of Ireland. There's places, even some of these other locations. You can go to Georgia or South Carolina and it might look like some of these other spots.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling like that's one thing that if you were to do this again, maybe the filming on location not as necessary as you think it is, especially because it sounds like they built a lot of these sets wherever they went. So kind of seems like you could have filmed this wherever.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. And I really, I enjoyed this movie.
Mhm.
I've always liked pirate movies and ocean going movies and all that. And I mean, I grew up with watching the classic pirate movies and really just enjoying that whole thing. But I think, and like we talked about with the westerns too, is things come and go. And I think in the 1990s, I don't know that pirates were a big part of Hollywood,
Right.
right? I
Cowboys
think
were.
what was that?
Cowboys were.
Yeah, but that they had made that genre had made like a resurgence,
Mhm.
right? Because there was a lack of those movies. What did we say, the 80s, and then Young Guns kind of brought it back with the you know like the Brat Pack does. I don't know if they were technically the Brat Pack. Well, I guess some of them were.
Mm.
But I mean, the point is that that you were bringing all that back. But I really, I don't know, were there any pirate movies before this? Like, I don't think there was much in like the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. And so, you make a movie that I don't know, that people isn't necessarily the thing of the times,
Mhm.
and there's no connection with popular culture to really drive it home. Excuse me, drive it home. And so I think that's where maybe the audiences were like, oh, okay. How did the Three Musketeers do when they did that?
The Disney one?
Yeah.
I feel like that one did pretty well. I don't remember exactly how it
Well,
did, but I feel like it did
see,
pretty
and
well.
and that's the thing too. And we talked a little bit about this, is that a lot of the ideas in this then got adapted into Pirates of the Caribbean. And then I want to say Disney kind of maybe took a look and then a pass at
Mhm.
this. And I feel like that helps is, Disney knows how to make movies that are popular and fun to watch. And, if people want to say, well, they're formulaic or whatnot, well, okay, but they're popular and fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I think that what happened was, there wasn't necessarily a big market for pirate movies. And so then what are you going to do? Are you going to get the people like that grew up watching them from the 40s and 50s, and then you're going to play off the nostalgia thing? Okay, well, you can do a remake, but then if you do a remake and you make it too much with, modern sensibilities or whatnot, like then you're going to kind of lose people with that. There were elements of this that were very dark. Well, not very dark, but it was a little bit more. I was like, oh, okay, well, that was a little intense. So are you going to do kind of like Unforgiven, for pirate movies, like make something that's like
Mhm.
accurate? You know what I'm saying? Real gritty. That was a big popular term, right? When you want to say a movie that's a little bit more intense, oh, it's gritty.
Right.
Or are you just going to make it fun? And I feel like this movie was going for fun.
Because I think you've got fun adventure with this one. To your point, I think as we were thinking about movies, any pirate movies that might have happened before this, you're looking at. I was trying to find some of the stuff in my notes real quick. You had a bunch of pirate movies in I want to say like the 40s and 50s, especially the 50s. I think the 50s were a big, decade kind of where you had a bunch of swashbuckler movies. And then after that, what I had managed to kind of uncover was you have a bunch of pirate movies taking place in the 60s, but it's all in Europe. And I think especially in Italy, you had a bunch of pirate movies that had come out that were maybe Italian productions. And so, yeah, so I think most of what you've got after the 1950s is going to be the 1960s kind of European Italian pirate movies. The 70s, there were a few that were in there, but not too many, and some of them were a little, I think maybe a little goofy. There was one with James Earl Jones, Robert Shaw, a bunch of other people in it, and it did not do well. But then you get to the 80s, and I think in the 80s you have kind of almost like it's almost more parody and comedy, because you've got the Goonies, you've got Popeye, there was the musical Pirates of Penzance. There was one in the early 80s, there was one called Yellowbeard, which is kind of almost like a Monty Python type pirate spoof. It's got Graham Chapman from Monty Python. It's also got Cheech and Chong in it. You had a sci-fi space pirate comedy called Ice Pirates that came out in like the mid 80s. So
I remember Ice Pirates.
So some weird stuff in the 80s. And then I think like by the time you get to the 90s, it's like, yeah, we haven't necessarily had a solid straight up pirate swashbuckling action adventure movie, other than maybe like the Three Musketeers might be the kind of closest thing you'd got up until that point. But then along comes Cutthroat Island. And I think that was their attempt at trying to maybe bring that back and maybe do something different other than cowboy movies, because you'd had a lot of Westerns in the last several years in the 90s. And I did read at one point that Disney was almost considering this. They started to kind of attach themselves to this movie and then change their mind later. And there was a thought that this could be a kind of, a way to make a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, based on their ride. And when it started to kind of go off the rails, I think it sounded like they were like, no, I think we're okay. Yeah. And then at that point, it kind of becomes its own thing. And then we wait, whatever it is, 7-8 years until you get the actual Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Right. And even that is, the original Pirates of the Caribbean, incredible movie. The sequels, again, you kind of fall into the sequel trap, right? Like sometimes, they get a little bit progressively more weird and more sci-fi and magic and all this other kind of stuff kind of comes into it. Fun to watch, but isn't necessarily everyone's cup of tea. So again, I don't think we've seen like a real renaissance of pirate movies,
Right.
And even, you mentioned like the Goonies and all that. I mean, yeah, it's kind of it's a pirate movie, but it's a modern take on it. And it's more of like an 80s movie where it's a bunch of kids adventuring. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not like, going back and watching The Seahawk or something like that. So yeah, it's kind of a tricky thing, and it's unfortunate because I think there was a lot of good to this movie. It's always hard because, how do you do this? And like the characters, and I don't mean this as a roast, but like you said, Frank Langella, how am I saying that? Probably wrong.
I've always said
But
Langella.
okay, I mean, he was the mustache twirling bad guy with like the mwahaha, I mean, he was he was great. The sets were incredible. The location, the scenery was incredible. I mean, obviously those ships were great. The horse riding scenes and chases were, fantastic. Those were great. So it was just, I said in the open, it was like the Indiana Jones stunt spectacular. You're just constantly watching one exciting thing after another. I think that Matt Modine and Geena Davis were great in it. But it's hard because, when you made movies back in the day and, the pirate movies of the 30s and 40s, they were, I would say they really play into that period piece of it, right? Like, I'm not trying to say that, pirates back in the day talked like the way Errol Flynn did in the movies in the 30s, but like that was, but he was playing that, and that's kind of what the perception was. I think in the 90s, there's an effort to make characters more relatable. So to the general audience. So even like Three Musketeers, you know, you got it's it's Kiefer, it's Charlie Sheen.
Mm-hmm. It's Oliver Platt, and it's
Yeah,
and why am I blanking on his name?
yeah, I'm blanking on his name too. We got to Google things, John. On
I
our
know.
pod, we got to Google things. I keep wanting to say Matt Damon, but it's not.
No.
He was Robin.
Yeah.
He was in Scent of a Woman.
Yeah.
And
Why am I? Yeah.
we're gonna have to edit this in, John. We're gonna have to
That's
do our
fine.
viewers a justice of editing in the correct thing.
We're
Anyways,
getting older. I mean, is what we're trying to say. Is we're
we
getting older,
are getting
and
older. Our brains are
sometimes
getting slower.
sometimes we
But
forget things. And
yeah,
Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah.
It's right on the tip of my tongue.
No.
But like when they speak in there, it's not like, I mean, it is like it's like they're speaking in a manner that it would be like a modern audience.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit more, it's a little bit more relaxed. It's a little bit more like, okay, this could be a period epic, or it could be the way people are just talking out on the street right now. And I think this movie tries that too, but it's almost it's almost not quite as settled in for this one. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like the main characters, they kind of vacillate between, okay, we're speaking like in the manner of the classic pirate movies from 40 or 50 years ago. And then all of a sudden we're speaking in a more conversational way. So that kind of was a little, a little awkward.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that was the only thing that kind of took me out of the action with this movie. I really, again, I don't know that that's enough to say that, I don't know if that's enough to make it a cause for it to be like a flop.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I think most people, they associate that if you know anything about Cutthroat Island, I think most people, unfortunately, associate this with its financial flop. And so I'm wondering how many people don't even give it a try to begin with, just because if they look anything up on this one, they're like, oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Same thing with, I really, really loved the Disney movie they did several years ago, John Carter.
Okay.
I love that movie. Based on was it Rudyard Kipling stories about John Carter of Mars, and same guy that wrote Tarzan. And I really, really enjoy that movie, but it was deemed such a financial flop from Disney that they didn't even. I'm not Rudyard Kipling. Rudyard Kipling is Jungle Book. John Carter is Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Okay.
As soon as I said that, I'm like, that's not Rudyard Kipling. Get your between Chris O'Donnell and Rudyard Kipling, like we're batting. I don't know what we're batting here, but it's not 1,000.
Well, John, we're old and we forget things.
That's true.
Think
we're old and we forget things. So that's the other tagline of the 30-something movie podcast. Listen to us because we're old and we forget things. It's I'm picturing what was it, the scene from The Simpsons where it's got the headline with Grandpa Simpson on it. Old man yells at cloud.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm feeling right now. So part of me wonders, like, is it like a John Carter? Because I know plenty of people that are like, oh, I heard about that one. I heard it's awful. It's not awful. I love that movie. It's a great. It's kind of like this. It's a great swashbuckling adventure movie set on Mars with aliens and monsters and all kinds of fun stuff. So I wonder sometimes too, like, is this one of those that somebody's not going to give a chance to? Frankly, if we weren't doing this for the podcast, I don't know that I would have ever watched this movie. I would not have. I've seen it before. I mean, I've seen it on shelves before. It's not one that if I'm searching around for something, I'm going to go, ooh, let's watch that one tonight. So, definitely I think it suffers from a little bit of that. Oh, Pat, you know what? You know what they needed?
What do they need?
They need, because it's a pirate movie, they needed somebody to handle their PR.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. You kind of set that one. I saw that one coming from a mile away, but.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you did. I only thought of it for like the last half mile.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
I have others written down that I haven't done yet. Those you can see coming from a mile away.
Well, that just shows you that you're working up the material, right? That you're working on it. You're attentive to your craft.
What I haven't figured out a way to weave in the term plunder blunder. I wanted to use that one.
Yeah.
That plunder blunder.
That's a mouthful too.
Yeah.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah. I have a potential episode title for this episode that was Yo Ho Ho and a Box Office Bomb.
Oh.
I was thinking of that one. I thought that one was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but I think that, to sum up our conversation, I'm not finding much like, oh, this was bad.
Yeah.
The movie's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The action sequences are crisp.
Mhm.
Geena Davis is great. Matt Modine is
Yeah.
great. I mean, again, anything over and above that I say about, well, that's not quite the same as
Yeah.
like, Jack Sparrow was, or,
Mhm.
trying to blank on him when Legolas played the other one, Will
Yeah.
Turner
Mhm.
in Pirates of the Caribbean. But like, I mean, I'm not an actor or an actress, so I'm not going to sit there and judge other people on what
Mhm.
they do. They played the characters, they were fun to watch, and that's that. But I just think, I just feel like the movie just was out of sync
Yeah.
with the audience at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Well, there's that, and then as we've already kind of mentioned, when you're watching the set pieces are outstanding, and
Yeah.
you can see the work that went into all this. Every time something explodes in this movie, I'm I was sitting there watching it, knowing in the back of my mind that one of the reasons this was maligned was because of the budget issues. Every time I'm watching a room explode or a boat explode or something explode, I'm watching this, I'm going, that's okay. That's I you could basically put digital dollar signs in the midst of the flames as that explodes. I can see exactly why your budget is going out of control here
Right.
because you're filming on location, which is probably expensive. It has a little bit, this one was from last week or a couple weeks ago. It has a little bit of the Waterworld kind of feeling to it. Is
Okay.
Waterworld's not a terrible movie, but in the back of my
Oh,
mind, having only seen it once before watching, or maybe twice, no, probably just once. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, that's that movie that like didn't do well, and so it's probably not a great movie. And then when we watched it for the podcast, I was like, huh, all right, that's not as bad as I remember it being. Now, granted,
right.
we did watch kind of the director's cut version of it, so it was a different one than the original one I saw. But at the same time, I'm watching, I'm going, well, maybe I need to like forget what people have said about this movie for years and just go into it and just watch it. And
Yeah.
if I'm going to have fun, have fun. With this one, I think same thing. I think, what I heard going into it was, oh yeah, big flop, put Carol Co Pictures out of commission, bankrupted them, led to no pirate movies for a while, led to studios convinced that a female could not lead an action movie like this.
Right.
And having watched it, I'm like, is it, to your point, I think what you were saying earlier, is it as polished as a Pirates of the Caribbean? No, it's not as polished as a Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's fun. Like it's still
Hmm.
fun. There's so much fun stuff that you can take out of this movie. And one other thing, I don't want to skip over anything that you might want to say, but before we jump to three questions, I had two other things I want to mention, and one of them is the soundtrack. We haven't had a chance to talk about the soundtrack yet.
Oh, that's fantastic.
This
Yeah.
soundtrack is, we said it, I think we hadn't started recording yet, but I think one of us said, when you're trying to find, adventure music for your trailer and you might want to use some music, but you don't want it to be Pirates of the Caribbean because it's so recognizable. This to me seems like this is like top tier pirate movie soundtrack.
Oh, it's great.
It's amazing. It's an awesome, awesome soundtrack. In fact, I think I might have the main theme kind of queued up here. Let's see if we can get some of this going here. There we go. So, I mean, the music is just outstanding.
Oh,
I
it
mean,
is.
it's just you get all the piratey, adventure-y feels in listening to this.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it is definitely, I think, a combination of what we saw in watching the movie, the music, the soundtrack to this, everything about it. I think it's definitely one that you got to ignore anything you've read about this one being a flop and why it was a flop and all of that. I'd say just go into it and have fun watching it.
Yeah. I mean, it was a fun movie.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no big reveal. There's no big, you know, the elephant in the room that we have to talk about. Like it's just a fun movie. Yeah, that's all.
The other fun thing I wanted to mention about this one is, and I remember seeing this, I don't remember ever playing it, but there was a Cutthroat Island video game.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one for the Game Boy, Game Gear, Genesis, and Super Nintendo.
Okay.
And I remember seeing this, but I don't remember ever playing this. And one of the things that was kind of fun was when it was first released, it had a promotion where if you found some of the hidden treasure chests in the game, I think you could mail in something and say, here's where you found the treasure chest, and you'd actually win real world prizes.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
that's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, it can be, I don't know, say that because there were some movies that got video game releases that were bad. But if you got a video game release, you can't be all bad.
Yeah. No, I really, it just didn't spark for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Are we ready to swing across to the other ship and fight over 3 questions?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's
Yes,
do it.
have some.
Yes, have some.
He asks each traveler 5 questions. 3 questions. 3 questions.
It's impossible to answer.
Impossible because you don't know the answer.
Nobody could answer that question.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
All right, question number 1. What is the best looking map featured in a movie or TV show?
I'm going to take the map room in the Well of the Souls from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's excellent.
Yeah, that whole thing was just exciting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was part of me, I was trying to decide, do we go... Yeah, I mean, Raiders is awesome. Part of me is deciding, do I go with something like the map on the back of the Declaration in National Treasure?
Okay.
That was one I thought about. The other ones, I was thinking, what else was I thinking about? Well, I mean, you got the map in Goonies, the map to One-Eyed Willie's treasure. You've got different maps that show up in like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. The one I'm going to go with though is I always loved whenever they would do the little sequences to show you the map of Middle Earth in the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And it's like, it's also one of the only maps where the font is just as legendary as the actual geography that's on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with that
really
one.
cool.
I'm going to go Lord of the Rings. Like every time they would show the map in Lord of the Rings. And if you want to do also the Indiana Jones movies, anytime he's traveling in a plane somewhere.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Generations, Star Trek Generations, the stellar cartography is pretty cool.
Yes.
That was fun seeing that room and seeing that, that was kind of the new addition to the Enterprise when they brought it to the big screen.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great one.
Pretty cool.
All right. Question number 2. What is your favorite pirate movie prior to Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh, that one's easy. You want to go first?
I can go first. Probably my favorite one, like I said, pirate movies, not necessarily my genre, my go-to genre. I think I got to guess at which one yours is. I think I might know which one yours is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Hook because it's got it's got my combination of everything. It's Steven Spielberg, it's Dustin Hoffman, it's Robin Williams. I loved that movie as a kid. So I'm going to go with Hook. And I'm going to say that's my favorite pirate movie that came out prior to Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm curious as to yours. I think I know what it is, but let's find out.
Oh yeah, because I've talked about it before. Captain Blood.
That's exactly what I thought it was. Yeah.
Grew up watching Captain Blood, and that was just the gold standard.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I talk about back in the day, pirate movies and all this kind of thing. Captain Blood, the Seahawk, and then Treasure Island, and I can't remember when they did that. I really don't know that many more of the old classic pirate movies than those. So I'm referencing these things that I don't know. Are there just dozens of them like there are with the Westerns? I don't know that there are.
I think from the 1950s and earlier, you had several
Okay.
pirate movies, because I was looking some of these up earlier. Like your Captain Blood is 1935, the Seahawk is 1940.
Mm-hmm.
You've got two versions of Treasure Island. There was the 1950 Disney live action one, and then there was a TV adaptation in 1990.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, really, let's see. There was another 1926. There was one called The Black Pirate.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, you've got a bunch, but I think the heyday of pirate movies was probably up until the 1950s, and then it looks like once you got past the 1950s, the pirate movie kind of sailed off into the sunset, for lack of a better term.
Right. Well, and you know, I can't imagine they're super inexpensive to make.
Mhm.
You either film on location or have big elaborate sets and all that kind of deal.
Mhm.
And again, unless you have I think I'm going to keep driving that point. I think the link was there was a Disney ride. That's what linked people in. Treasure Island is a famous book, so I mean that's what links people in. Hook, okay, it's a play on Peter Pan.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like there were pirates in it, but it's a Peter Pan story. And at that, it was not a remake, but almost Hook was like kind of like when we return to these beloved films, and we come back 30 years later and we're gonna add another one on, right? Like so I mean, there was some kind of a link that will trigger the audience. I mean, I'm just saying, like Cutthroat Island, that's pretty ambitious just to put a story out there where people don't have a link into it already.
Right.
And so I think that was just very, very ambitious. And unfortunately, it just didn't trigger. But and again, I'll just say it. What the movie's chock full of excitement.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
very unfortunate. But yeah, it just didn't click. Where I think the other ones, they have some kind of an in with the audience.
Mhm.
And sometimes I wonder too, if this movie had come out 20 years later, right with the rise of, Netflix and Prime and all that, where you're getting these miniseries. What is it? Is it Black Sails? I
Yeah.
think it's,
Yeah, I think so.
and is that the one set in Japan?
Was it? I feel like we started to watch a couple of episodes of that.
Well, and I can't remember. And now maybe there's multiple because there's one set in Japan that, and it's more of a story about like, feudal Japan, but there's pirates in there. And so I almost wonder if
Oh,
some
no, no,
of
no.
these stories.
No, what you're thinking of, oh shoot, we started to watch that not that long ago. It wasn't called Samurai. I know what you're talking
No.
about though. Yeah, because there were pirates in that. Actually, we started watching it and we stopped watching it a little bit because it, having all the subtitles and everything else, it got to be where it was like you needed to give more of your full attention to watching this show.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
we were like, we got too much stuff going on. We need something a little bit more, we need lighter fare, basically.
Right.
And so we did stop
Right.
watching it a bit. Shoot, what was that called? It just came out. Shogun.
Shogun.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what
And
I'm thinking of.
that was
But the
great. But
point,
yeah, there were
but the
pirates and it was Japan. But Black Sails, the one you're thinking of, Black Sails is a different one.
okay.
That one I think is supposed to be, actually, I think it's supposed to be a prequel to Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island.
Okay. Okay. Well, that one. Okay, so right there, you've got an in, right? Because it's linked to Treasure Island. It's linked to a known quantity. And to be completely honest with you, like I almost wonder if like the miniseries route, gets it out to more people. It allows for, you don't have this big, oh, that was a big flop because no one went to the movies to see it.
Right.
But, I think like you put it on one of those streaming platforms and it just caters more to that niche market or people, what you would call like a niche movie.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's where some of these things could really thrive. Yeah, I mean, and we've even seen westerns. A lot of westerns put out in miniseries format too. So
Oh, sure, yeah.
yeah, I'm just rambling away at question number one, but yeah.
Yeah.
Cutthroat Island, good movie, everybody. I'm coming back to sticking my guns.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's see. We are on question number 3. What is your favorite storm scene in a movie or TV show? This one's tough because there's a lot of them. There's like a lot of really good options for this one. I mean, there's a lot of really good storm options. I could give the jokey answer and say, in the first X-Men movie. But I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I mean, there's Twister. I mean, Twister's obviously a great storm movie. There's the storm in Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Now that I've already mentioned a Lord of the Rings movie, I feel like I can do that one too. Yeah, this one was kind of tough for me to nail down because there's a lot of different options. Attack of the Clones. I was thinking of Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
When Obi-Wan is on Camino.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, like every time it rains and I'm walking out to my car, I want to stop for a minute and just go, I have successfully made contact with the Prime Minister of Camino, especially if I'm wearing a hoodie or something.
Yeah, I know.
They are using a bounty hunter named Jango Fett to create a clone army. I have a strong feeling. Yeah, I want to do that every single time.
Yeah, somehow the Jedi engineers put a design flaw. Like, can't the guy sit inside the spaceship and like transmit? I mean,
why do I have to stand outside and get soaking wet?
Yeah, like something didn't work out the way we originally thought.
And of course, it's me standing outside my car. Like the Mace Windu part is, do you think there's a reason why you're going to end up going into work today? No, Master, there appears to be no motive. Yeah. So I think the one I'm going to go with, though, because it is, and I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that this is like, Oscar-worthy stuff, but one of my favorite movies when it comes to like storms and weather and stuff like that, I really enjoy the movie The Day After Tomorrow.
Oh, it's fun, isn't it?
Oh, I love that one. Like just trash everything. I mean, it is it's the Independence Day of weather movies when you get to destroy as many, when you absolutely positively must destroy every last monument and whatever in the United States and the world, except no substitutes. A Day After Tomorrow, just freeze it and then throw a bunch of wolves in New York City and have fun.
Right.
So I think I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to go with Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good choice. I'm going to go. Okay. I'm going something completely different. I'm going Back to the Future.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That whole thing. And as I was thinking of it, I went back and pulled it up and rewatched it. Just what an exciting final sequence to a movie. Fun, funny, scary, suspenseful. The storm. I mean, just the way they could say things in that movie and be like, ooh, they get you. Just great. Just a great.
The best answer you could give would be a bolt of lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to the Future. A perfect movie. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will never miss an opportunity to do this, much as in the same way you feel about Pearl Harbor. The worst storm movie I have ever seen, and I will tell everyone this anytime I get the opportunity, Noah from 2014.
Oh, boy.
I hate that movie.
Yeah, that was...
went to go see that in the theater, and it was... Kind of wish the budget of this movie had gotten a hold of that one, and yeah.
Yeah, that... Choices were made when they made that movie.
It's hard... It's really hard to dislike a movie that has Jennifer Connelly in it because of all the other wonderful things that she's in. Hold on.
Dreamweaver. I believe you can get me through the night.
But and I don't fault her for playing the character of Joan in that movie. But yeah, it's an awful movie.
Here's the thing. I forgot she was in that movie until you said it right now.
That's probably best.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do everybody a favor and forget most things about that movie.
Right.
Because it's just awful. So, but anyway, all right. Well, I think we've done our due diligence here, and I think hopefully we've convinced some people that Cutthroat Island is worth seeing, especially if you love explosions.
Yeah.
If you want to find out more about the filmography of Flash Bangwell, then definitely check out this movie because he's in it a lot.
Yes.
But so definitely check it out. It's well worth a watch. I would be curious to know what other people think of it once they've had an opportunity to watch it and compare it to some of the others we have, like, Pirates of the Caribbean. And to your point earlier, like, I think with the Pirates of the Caribbean sequels, you have the law of diminishing returns with those. And so, I mean, I would hold this one up to being better than the majority of the Pirates of the Caribbean sequels.
Yeah, I think the movie didn't get necessarily its fair shake. It just, if there isn't an if there's something linking people to it, not pirates, but like seafaring movie, Master and Commander.
Right. I love that one.
When did that one come out? Was that before or after Pirates of the Caribbean? I want to say it was slightly after.
It was
But
after, because I think it was, I want to say 2003.
Okay, well then that Pirates was 2003, so
yeah.
But it was in and around that time. And even when
Yeah.
that movie came out, that movie really kind of had a niche following.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I remember, and I think it's one of my dad's favorite movies, Master and Commander now, but he was just like, I remember him saying, yeah, I just kind of heard that was kind of a, it was boring. And and I'm like, Dad, I mean, my dad loves sailing.
Yeah.
Loves sailing and loves pirate movies. And and when I say sailing, like he actually goes out and sails, and
right.
And I remembered being like, Dad, it's not my place to tell a guy what movie to go see, but holy moly, you are missing out. This movie is like the movie that is made for you. And he's like, well, I'll check it out. And then all of a sudden, the next thing we know, it's like he's got a copy, and every night he's watching. He just loves the thing, as well he should. But even that just shows you that, I mean, it's just certain.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's marketing. I don't know if it's sort of like the movie equivalent of the radio, where you got to make the song that gets radio play because, it's got to sound a certain way. I don't know. And then, and I'm going to go macro because it's late at night and I'm getting all fired up. But it's like, we complain about movies. Oh, well, this is too much of a formula, or this is too much of the same. Or, we speak derisively of big franchises, and well, they just follow a formula. AI could write the movies. Well, then when Hollywood comes out with a movie that's different, you got to go see it and support it.
Right.
Because if you don't see it and support it, and if you go online and bash it, like, I mean, well, there you go. I mean, that's right. Like, anyways.
Yeah.
I'm kind of rambling, but I really, man, I'm in this movie's corner. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. I know for a fact now, as I'm thinking about it, I know for a fact that Master and Commander was 2003 because that was the year that Sharon and I got married. And after we got married, we moved down to Champaign, and she was starting, I had just finished undergrad. She was starting grad school. I was working at the bookstore and movie theater. And that was the only year where we had seen every single picture that was up for Best Picture come Oscar time.
Okay.
And it was, because of working at the movie theater, I got free tickets to see movies all the time. So we had seen Master and Commander, Return of the King, Seabiscuit, Mystic River, and Lost in Translation were the 5 movies that were up for Best Picture that year, and we saw every single one of them.
What ended up winning? Was it Lost in Translation?
I think it was Return of the King.
Won Best Picture? Did it really?
I think so. I think because that was the one they were like, because people thought like, well, Two Towers is going to get it. Now Two Towers didn't get it. And I think by the time it got to, Best Picture that year, it was, we're finally going to give it to it because.
Yeah.
Because we had seen seen a lot of movies that year. We saw Cold Mountain because Sharon loved the book that was based off of. And there were a bunch of movies that year that was a really good year for movies. And like tons of good stuff came out that year. There was another, speaking of Jennifer Connelly, and also a score by James Horner, House of Sand and Fog was another good one. Ben Kingsley was in that.
Yeah.
Government Gandhi, as he's sometimes known. Last Samurai, that was the year Last Samurai came out.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a fantastic year. But yeah, Return of the King won Best Picture that year.
Yeah.
Actually, it won 11. I think it won all 11 nominations it had.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. No, that was a great year. 2003 was a good year for movies.
Yeah, it was.
That was a fun time to work at a movie theater.
And hard to think in the timeline of our podcast, we're closer to that than we were to when we started.
That's a little bizarre.
Like,
yeah.
You know what? We're closer to that than we were with, what did we start? 84, 85? We started 85.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're only 8 years away from that.
Oh my gosh.
It's a little strange.
A little
bit. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us on the high seas here tonight as we swashbuckled our way through Cutthroat Island. If you want to find more of our episodes, 30podcast.com is our website. The rest of our theme for November is the high seas. And so far we're actually coming up towards the end of the month at this point. So far we've had Crimson Tide, we've had Waterworld, this time was Cutthroat Island. Coming up in a few days, we've got a special tribute. This is not on the high seas theme. A special tribute to custom car designer George Barris on what would have been his 100th birthday this year. We're going to talk a little bit about him on that special episode. And then the last one, also a bit of a stretch. I think there's a boat in the movie, but the movie The Net will be our last one for High Seas Adventures. If you're over with us on Patreon, we had a great episode with our good friend and October co-host Rob Perry. He came on to talk Rocky Horror Picture Show with us. And hopefully at some point before the month is over, I will finish watching Alien Earth. And Rob Perry and I are going to kind of come back again and see if we can knock out maybe a little bit of an extended episode for that one to talk about the Alien Earth series that has come out this year. So having just seen the new Predator movie, I'm fired up to finish Alien Earth at this point. I've only seen the first episode and just haven't had too much time to get back into it. I enjoyed what I saw in the first episode, so I am excited to get back into that. But really, really enjoyed the new Predator movie, Predator Badlands. So if anybody hasn't seen that yet, I know it just came out within the last, by the time you hear this, it's just come out within the last couple of weeks or so. So definitely go check that one out. It's well worth it.
nice.
All right. Well, Pat, I think it's time to hoist the mainsail and be on our way. So thank you for being here with me tonight.
That's right, John. Hoist the colors.
Mm-hmm. Float the buoy and hoist the mainsail and all the other stuff. Swab the poop deck.
Move the thing.
Move the
and
thing.
The other
and
thing.
the other thing. Yeah. All right. Pat, I hope you are excellent.
John, be excellent to each other.
Everybody
I love that line. Holy cow. I tripped over my tongue on that one.
That's okay. We're
John,
old. We're old and we forget things.
We're old and we forget things. Welcome to the 30-something movie podcast.
Yeah.
Stuffer and Stuckatash.
We sound like Sylvester and Tweety at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going down. The ship is going down, John.
We're podcasting about Piewits. All right.
Be excellent to each other, John.
There we go. Be excellent to each other. Go watch some good movies, and we'll see you back here next time if we make it.
Bring the lights down low, it's time to show. Lights, camera, you know what we mean. Behold the magic of the silver screen. Some movies rock, some movies shock.